congratulations on getting drafted and signing. I'm wondering if you can maybe take us through what you were thinking at the time you were injured and what you thought that might, how that might impact you in the draft, and to your feelings when, you know, you heard your name called.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to the injury, you know, I was devastated, you know, not just, you know, for the draft, but just for the season for Ole Miss. And that was really what I was thinking about. But, you know, I knew it was out of my control. And so, you know, I didn't really focus too hard on it. And I was just trying to take it one step at a time. And then, yeah, and then the draft happened. And then, yeah, to be selected by the Toronto Blue Jays, I was just ecstatic. And I was there with my family, my friends, and yeah, just an unbelievable moment.
On draft day, Shane Farrell was saying that, you know, the Blue Jays made a point of having you and your family down to the facility and wanted you guys to sort of understand what the rehab process with this team would look like for you and kind of how you'd be working. Obviously, it's pretty convenient to where you're living. I'm just wondering, for you at that point, when a team was spending that much time with you, like, did that give you a pretty good window that this might be a possibility, or how seriously we're thinking of you, and how did that impact your decision to want to be drafted by them?
Yeah, you know, I think going through the draft process, you know, we developed a great relationship with them, and but you know, the draft is a crazy thing, and you know, we didn't get our hopes up on anything, but yeah, and then when they came calling, it was just felt like the right fit.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Keegan.
Hey, Gunnar, thank you for your time today. Going up until prior to your injury, the Blue Jays were obviously intrigued by your fastball velocity upticking, your control. What were some of the things in your game that you felt were really getting to a better place, really improving before your injury?
Yeah, I think the biggest things were just my fastball velocity, and then kind of just my repertoire as a whole. You know, I thought I really developed my changeup this past year, and you know, that was a big pitch for me in the spring. And you know, I was a 3-pitch guy, you know, with great command, and my fastball velocity was up. So you know, that was big things that I worked on.
And knowing it's still very early stages of your recovery from the surgery, what are some of the things you're doing at this point, and what do the next kind of few months look like for you?
Yeah, right now I'm just doing like exercises, strengthening my shoulder, my scaps, and doing range of motion exercises with my elbow. And I got full range of motion back, so that's good. As for the next, you know, how the next couple months are going to look, I should start throwing within 4 months, and then I should be, you know, the timetable says completely recovered 12 to 15 months, but you know, just going to take it one day at a time, and you know, see how my progress is.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Thank you.
Hey, Gunnar, thanks for the time, and congrats on being drafted. I was just kind of wondering, what have the last few days since the draft been for you? Did you get a chance to watch the All-Star festivities and see all the Blue Jays, and what kind of else have you been doing?
I just stayed home for the draft. But yeah, I was watching everything. I was watching the Futures game, the All-Star game, Home Run Derby. But yeah, I just stayed home, and then reported to Dunedin a couple days ago, and yeah, just getting that process started.
And then I was wondering, obviously this was kind of your second turn through the draft process with being selected by Pittsburgh in 2018. I was wondering if you could talk about what that process a few years ago was like, and how this time was different, and why kind of you ultimately chose to go to Ole Miss back then.
Yeah, I think the way the process was different for me was just knowing what to expect. You know, the draft is a crazy process. You know, I have no expectations when it comes to this. There's a lot of things that go into it. So this time around, you know, I just came in with a mindset that it's out of my control, and you know, whatever happens, happens.
And sorry, just to follow up on that quickly. So back then when you got selected, what kind of motivated you to go to school instead of committing to pros back then?
Yeah, as the signing process evolved, you know, I just thought it was the best decision for me to go to Ole Miss and learn under the coaches there and, experience the college experience before I go play professional baseball.
Thanks, Gunnar.
Back to Shy.
Hey, Gunnar. One thing that the Blue Jays talked a fair bit is your ability to command and control the baseball. I'm wondering, is that something that you've always had, or is that something that you've had to work on in recent years and really develop and make it a big part of your game?
I think it's something that I've always had. I think it goes back to when I was younger and, a lot of guys, they always teach velocity first and stuff like that. But for me, it was kind of opposite. It was always about control and location. And, I just remember playing catching bullpens with my dad. And, it was always about hitting the glove. And, that was always the main focus.
I mean, that's especially growing up in this era where there's so much emphasis on velocity and trying to put up a big number. It's a bit of a different mentality that it sounds like you took to the mound.
Exactly. Yeah. I was completely opposite from, what the game is today.
And can you just sort of describe a little bit sort of your approach on the mound and sort of what you're trying to do? What weapons are you trying to sort of use and which pitches you're trying to get to in a bat?
I'm just trying to use my arsenal, my complete arsenal and go out there and attack. I feel like I have the best stuff and, I go out there and I'm going to compete and, doesn't matter who's in the box. I'm just going to go out there and, pitch and, throw my pitches in the zone.
All right. Thanks again.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Again, I just got one more for you. I was just kind of wondering, as the rehab process is going and as you started to kind of really talk to the team, are there any, aside from getting healthy, goals you kind of have for the next couple months and coming into that first year?
Not really. I'm just taking it a one day at a time approach, stay present. Right now I'm just trying to, get back to being healthy and, being stronger than before surgery. So.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Gunnar. I wondered, I guess, I don't know if this is right, but it says you were born in Dunedin. And so I wondered how much familiarity you had with the Blue Jays organization before you were drafted by them and before this whole process started.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that I was born in Dunedin and then, now I'll be rehabbing there. But I had a couple of meetings with them back in high school and, developed a good relationship back then. And then, I had a lot of meetings with them, this time around as well. And it's been a great relationship.
Growing up in that area, did you ever see the Blue Jays playing the Rays, or did you go down to their spring training facility? Had you been in that area before?
I'm from Hudson, but I have been to a Blue Jays game. I've actually played in the Dunedin Blue Jays field when I was back in high school against Dunedin High School. So.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Thank you.
Go ahead, Shy.
Gunnar, just to go, not to bring up bad memories, but just go back to the injury. I'm wondering, was that building for you over the course of the season, or did that just happen out of the blue on one pitch?
Yeah, it just happened out of the blue on one pitch. It happened during my South Carolina game. And then I, tried to pitch the following weekend at Texas A&M, but it just wasn't coming out the same. And I knew something was wrong. And
just in terms of do you remember like which pitch specifically and what were you throwing, and do you remember some of the circumstances around it?
Yeah, it was a fastball, and it was one of my last couple of pitches of that South Carolina start. And I just remember throwing the pitch and kind of feeling like a pull or discomfort in my elbow.
All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gunnar, for your time, and welcome to the Blue Jays. And thanks, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much.